Hey, what's going on out there, everybody? This is Sammy Leggett here representing Team JVS, here to give you guys a new movie review. I'm talking about Neon's Longlegs. Longlegs' premise is basically on an FBI agent named Lee. She's assigned to this unresolved killer case that takes a crazy turn and is possibly tied to something very dastardly. She discovers a very personal connection to the killer and is trying desperately to stop him. So this is starring Maika Monroe. If you've seen It Follows, who is first of all, that in and of itself, that movie is a classic in its own right. It's also starring Blair Underwood, Nicolas Cage, and a slew of other amazing actors and actresses such as Alicia, Witt, Kiernan, Shipka, and many, many more. But I'm just gonna keep it very plain with you guys. This movie is masterfully made. Like everything about this film is, of course, demented, disturbing, very disturbing. Not no kid should watch this film in any respect. Not even if it's PG. Like if you take your 13-year-old to this movie, don't do that. Maybe 16 and above should watch this film. There are lines that this film draws that I am very surprised that they got away with because it's very demented and very dark. I say all that to say this has some of the best shots, acting, blocking, progressive story, engagement, sound design. It is masterful on every single one of those marks. I cannot believe how good this movie actually is. This to me is one of the best films this year. And maybe one of the best horror films, even though it's not in its own right. And I'll break that down what I mean by that, but technically one of the best horror films I've seen in years. So I cannot divulge anything about this film to you guys, and I'm not. I'll just say that Osgood Perkins, in the way that he crafts this film, I have not seen anything quite like this because the way that it's crafted, it plays like a thriller. Because you have take the movie Seven or take the movie, I don't know, the Zodiac, and you merge those two together, but you invoke this supernatural, demented, sycophantic premise that's in the middle of it, that's swirling around these two baseline stories, and you allow great buildup, great tension. Every single scene pops because the blocking and the shots, the cinematography for this, to me, this is the best cinematography of the year to me. And I thought that that was going to be owned by Dune Part 2, but this, the cinema, from the opening shot of this film, that's really just looks like the shape of a Polaroid, and how they maneuver into that, and it makes you feel like you're stuck in the picture. You feel every bit of tension, every bit of claustrophobia, and you don't really know where things are going to go as far as the story, because there is a lot of demented things that are happening. And I want to warn you guys, like, it is very, very, very dark. This is not for everyone at all. Like, I warn you guys to please make sure you do not take your children to see this film. This is not something that children should see in any way, shape, or form. I'm not even sure some adults should see, because it invokes a certain level of things that the themes in this are not something that you want to even have swirling in your head. That's the best way I can kind of put it. And this movie throws that tenfold straight there. But again, the way that they handle blocking, the way they handle certain scenes where they show something, they don't show something, the way they use sound, the way they use the camera movement when it comes to the characters trying to understand what is actually happening in front of them. There's a shot, I kid you not, where main character is just kind of getting up, sitting up, and they're kind of crawling somewhere, and the camera pans upside down, and you feel like that, just that small little subtle movement, you feel sick. You feel like you're in a roller coaster and you're upside down. And that is what this invokes. But look, Makia Monroe and her acting in this is astonishing. She
Don't move
for every single moment. And when she's presented with certain obstacles and certain things that you don't know whether or not her character is going to overcome them, even if she doesn't or does, her mannerisms and how she receives the world and how she perceives certain things that are happening very early on, and especially going into the second act, are just invoking of fear and hesitation and anxiety. There's certain small little cues that she gives with every single moment that you can tell like she's battling her own issues internally while also trying to figure out everything. Also, there's a fantastical thing that's happening in this. Like there are moments that you don't know, like, wait, how does this character know this? How does this character feel this? How is this happening? And I don't want to spoil anything, but it adds to the mystery. It adds to the excitement and engagement. And again, it's not just her. Like this probably is one of the best roles that Blair Underwood has ever done. Like he plays just another FBI agent Carter. He's working directly with her to try to figure out certain things that are happening. I can't reveal why, but Nicolas Cage in this is he is something. He is something next level, and it is effortless, in my opinion, coming from him. Between him and Alicia Witt, they just tear up scenes. Every single scene that they are in, they dominate, and it is terrifying to a T. And I it's hard for me to put into words why this is so good, but it's just masterful. From a cinephile, if you enjoy like a great thriller and you enjoy the thrill of the hunt of seeing where things are going to go, this will absolutely draw you in. But if you're a horror fan and you like supernatural things happening that's just outside of control and it's demented and sick, this is absolutely that as well. This is also very violent. There's a lot of dark violence. It is disturbing violence. So be forewarned of that. But then if you're just appreciative of social cues and great cinematography, great blocking, there are moments that feel very Kubrick to me. There are moments that I was like, this is an amazing shot. And there's to give an example, there's a scene that takes place at nighttime. The character's just literally just reading through a book, and you hear something, and it's just like and you hear it, you feel it, and you look back, and you're trying to see what's actually happening. But the way that they shift the camera angle to allow you to experience it with the character is so classic textbook cinematography, cinema at its finest. And I'm so surprised that this is an A plus. This is a 10 out of 10 movie. It's just not something that I can recommend to anybody, or I can recommend it to cinephiles, true, but I can't recommend everybody. This is something that I highly warn you. If you're gonna watch it, you're gonna be disturbed by, and not that kind of disturbed, like, oh, I can't believe I watched something violent. And like no, like not like a movie like this, but this is very dark. And I highly recommend you to go and be careful what you are getting yourself into. But knowing all that, this is still a 10 out of 10 film. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you don't mind, go down to the description bar below and check out our TikTok. On our TikTok, we are going to be doing a lot of short form reviews and short form reactions. If you want to get like a quick update on like what something's happening, go and follow our TikTok. I really appreciate you guys for doing that. And let me know what you guys think of Longlegs. Did this something that you wish you hadn't seen? Or even if you guys are on the fence whether or not you should see it, what do you feel now? Let me know in the comment section below. I'd really appreciate your thoughts. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace, people.
Falling out the top of the
I can see the skyline, 50 mile radius on my timeline. Ain't nothing on my mind.